primary ignition.
What's up, guys? I'm Emily Swallow. If you're looking at this, you're watching the Virtual Cantina Network. This is the way.
Welcome, citizens of the Republic. Another episode of the Clone Wars Revisited by the Virtual Cantina Network. Tonight, gosh, we are on Season 2, Episode 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't look right before we came on, and I was like, oh, crap, which one is it? So, I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. We got Mark Van Olen. We've got Sarah and JB hanging out with us again tonight. Love having them.
Hey, y'all.
Hiya.
It's like I can sit back and be quiet again.
Oh, I know. Chitter chatter. Sorry.
Hey, Ashley.
Well,
So
you
what
guys
did you guys do this weekend?
haven't. Well, you were out having fun this weekend. I'm over here growing up and getting myself a pair of glasses, which apparently I need in order to read the screen. Does this up my nerd cred, y'all? You know,
Yeah,
my
I love
first
that.
ever pair of glasses in my entire life. So here we are.
Who was it? Omid said that he was the person that made glasses canon in Star Wars.
He did. I love it. I love it so much.
He said, and it wasn't on purpose. And they apparently went through a crap ton of glasses. He had like a bunch of them to choose from. It was kind of a funny story. I mean, you said that, and it reminded me of him in the.
I remember our youngest Tyler mentioned that. He was like, "Look, he's got glasses, just like me." I don't remember anybody ever wearing glasses in Star Wars. And I went, and then looked it up, and yeah, he was right. He was right. Glasses. I technically only need them for reading, so I guess I have to decide whether or not I need them to read my screen. We'll see.
There we go.
Yeah,
JB, did you get into anything fun and exciting this weekend?
So I would say the highlight of this weekend was finishing the Eyes of Wakanda, getting through episode 3 and 4. So if you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. It was a blast.
I started watching it, and I haven't seen the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, no, absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
absolutely loved it, and a great little tie, the last episode of the movie.
Lots of in-depth fun stuff. It was really great. Our kids are in college. They're 19 and 21, and so it was a lot of fun talking about history and
they were glued
the
to
stories as we know them and how it's woven into the supposed history of Wakanda in the Marvel comics. And they were picking up on things we didn't even recognize, we didn't even understand. Tyler was having to explain like Marvel eccentricities to us and all this kind of stuff. So that was a lot of fun. That was surprisingly engaging for an animated series, and we're big animation fans over here, in case you don't know what the show's about or just stumbled in randomly. Welcome.
It's more evidence that animation in any type of epic storytelling has its place, and these stories, I think, in some ways, I think they can only be told in animation, and it enhances what they are trying to do. But it fits very, very well with what's already out there from the movies, from the live-action Wakanda movies. It was great. Highly recommend.
I love the whole Wakanda thing. I mean, getting a little taste of Wakanda from both Black Panther movies. It's kind of like Clone Wars is. They mention something, they show a little bit of it, and we've got this world we can delve in for a while.
Yeah, after episode 3, I was like, I would watch a whole series about that. Yes, please, give me more
That's
a
true,
whole
yeah.
animated series. I wanted a whole other thing. So fingers crossed on that. How about you two? I'm sure you just like sat around and did nothing this weekend,
Right.
right? Is there?
I sat in an airport, you know.
Tell us
Well,
all about
nothing
how
big,
Scum
just
Con.
Skip, you go first because you were the line manager at Boomtown.
This is not true. You got to host a panel. I have never hosted a panel, so I mean, you definitely were up there doing your thing. But I did have a good time. One of my first assignments was to meet. We had a couple rental vehicles, but obviously we were probably just a half a rental car short. So Pam Riddle was coming into Love Field, and I got dropped off at Love Field to meet her there, and got to watch the videos sitting around at Love Field for about an hour and a half, just because that's the way the timing went. And then met her there and walked her out to where the in fact, it wasn't like I had been there before, so I had to figure out where the pickup was for the share rides, and then order us an Uber and get us to the hotel. It was about, I don't know, maybe about a 25-minute ride. So I got to sit with her and kind of go through all her characters. She whipped out her Instagram page and started showing me the pictures of the different characters that she played, the different,
Nice.
Rhodians. Our Rhodian queen is Pam Riddle.
Yeah.
Sweet lady, very nice to hang out with. I got talking about her cats at home. She was only for she came in on Thursday, and I think she went home kind of before everybody else. But she was like, "Yeah, I'm only going to be gone for like one day. The cats will be fine." She has an automatic feeder and stuff like that. But really enjoyable and fun. Got to, and then I was. It's kind of funny. If you've been to any of the Boonta Eves, you usually know that usually at the front door taking the tickets to Boonta Eve is me. And,
Oftentimes standing next to a full-size live picture cutout of himself. And
I've done it. Yeah, I'd forgot about that too. Which was funny because I didn't even recognize I was standing by myself at what was that? Scum
San Francisco.
I kept wanting to say the wrong thing because I've been at Rebel Scum Con all weekend, and now saying Scum and Villainy is a little bit difficult.
I have a photo I'll never let you forget, Skip.
Well, I also have an LLC named Scum and Villainy that we do some real estate spec work through that company. But anyway, so I'm like the line guy. I had stood out at Scum and Villainy, helping people find out where they need to go and keeping everything moving. But this is a bar, and so they've got to check IDs and do their thing. So they wanted their people on the front door, and I was like, cool, I'll be able to kind of hang out. At first, I was going to maybe help out with Nelson Lee, be his handler, but they had shrunk down our space to put all our signers, so we needed less people back there. But you come from the front section of the of Rebel to the back section where there's a bar and where we all were. And so we had to create a line, and somebody had to manage the line. So I got to manage the line for Friday night, which was cool because I would, I'd go along and I'd go, okay, now who are you to see? And everybody was there to see Diana. Okay, no, we got somebody else. Okay. And, we'd get people coming and go, I want to see everybody. And I said, well, let's start with Nelson and Chris and, Fawn and some of the guys that maybe didn't have as many people visiting them as Diana and Taylor and Anna. Anna Grace was like, at one point in time, I told Anna, I said, look, your line was just as busy, if not just a little bit less than Diana was. And so she was a fan favorite. And we had a couple cosplayers come in as Obi-Wan and
fun.
The team.
So that was really cool. But yes, I got to hang out with Anna and Kevin quite a bit. I had met them at a con not far from where I live, about 45 minutes away. I'd seen them there, and of course, we obviously interviewed her here on the show. So she's a show favorite, and then I had a little adventure with her. So I had a photo op with her and Katie Sackhoff. The sisters, the
Crease sisters.
The Crease sisters. So
I would have
But
signed up for that
duo.
one if I was gonna make it. That was like top.
that was the top on your
I'm gonna
list.
tell you. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
so, Katie was like hours late. I mean, she was supposed to get there on Saturday, and she didn't get there until Saturday.
It was Saturday evening. Yeah,
it was like
she was stuck at production, and it was at least 6 o'clock by the time she arrived at the show.
Wow.
So I'm, it's getting late, and I kind of went up to Anna and Kevin, and I said, "It's getting late. I'm all right if we don't do this, And they were they had just been invited to go to dinner with Taylor and Nelson, and I could see Kevin's kind of like, I could almost hear his stomach grumbling, and I was feeling for him, but Anna was like, no, let's hold on. And we kept on going, like we're hanging out in the signing room in Autograph Hall, and then finally we kind of worked our way out. So let's see if they've heard anything. So we go out where the photo area is, and it was like, okay, let's just give it up. And so Anna's like, well, let's do a selfie so we can get something. Okay. And I said, okay, great. So Kevin takes it. Wasn't really a selfie since I wasn't taking the photo. Kevin took the picture of Anna and I. And then right as we got finished and we're getting ready to say goodbye, they come out and go, Katie's walking. She's walking like she's in the building walking through us. And of course, I get this look.
We were getting text message notifications like Katie's plane landed. Katie's in a cab. Katie is here. Katie is in the building. It was
I get this look from Kevin. It was kind of like,
it's like the Secret Service.
He was ready to go, and he goes, "You don't understand." He goes, "I've been with these actors before. They're always walking. They're always almost there." So, but so they usually you've been at photo ops. They've got the lineup area, and then behind the curtains they have the actors who are waiting back there to for it all to start. So they said, "Here, we're going to bring you in with Anna, and you're going to sit back here instead of putting you in the line," because they've already agreed that that my photo would. I was the only one taking this photo. That my photo would be the first one, so they could get Anna out of there. And because Katie had to do all of her Katie's, and then she had to do her ones with Tate and Emily.
Wow.
The Mandalorian thing.
Yep.
And then there was another one. I forget who it was, but anyways, so they've got me back in the room and. And, if you've ever been or seen Emily back in the room, inevitably she starts dancing. So we're sitting there waiting, and I think Katie had just walked in and was kind of like, oh, my gosh. And all of a sudden I started going, okay. And I was just doing my little dance thing. And all of a sudden Emily sees me and she's dancing. And Kevin's he got maybe about a 4-second video of the two of us dancing in this area. And then all of a sudden we stopped, and then it was like, okay, I jumped in the middle, got to get my picture with Katie and Anna, and then off I went. And so if you follow Anna on her Instagram page, after I went and got it, I came and showed it to her because she was still standing around. She goes, oh, let me see. And I showed it to her. She goes, oh, let me take a picture of your picture. And she took a picture of the three of us, and it was on her Instagram page the next day. And there's
that's fun.
Stuff. But it was just good times. Boonta Eve was a blast. Seeing the two guys help me out, Mark, the names, guys singing the Hutties
Richard Olowski.
Oh, Matthew Wood. Yeah, so Matthew Wood and David W. Collins debuted for the first time ever the real life version of them singing in Hutties, the song from Skeleton Crew. One of the few diegetic songs in like all Star Wars, and the only thing I think that really has lyrics other than that one we heard in Ahsoka, right? That Sabine listens to in her.
That they still haven't released. But I'm not salty about it all.
Yeah. So what's funny is we were trying to make that moment happen for a little while, and a lot happened at Rebel Scum. That was all over Instagram the next day. It was pure chaos in terms of just
from like 15 sources.
Everyone had their phones
I was scrolling and everybody had it, and I was like, "Dang man, what's going on?" Wow.
That's what Colin
I knew it was
saying.
going to be a hit, but I didn't realize it was going to be like that kind of thing where like people who weren't at the convention were sharing these videos, being like, "Did everyone see this?" And you have to be a really big Star Wars nerd for that to hit, right? Like,
well, my favorite was the music was playing and they were staring at the phone and they were like, okay, good night, bye. Even before they started. That was the best.
and getting the phone out. I will say, Matt Wood knows how to move. That man is a performer, and you don't always know that because he works behind the scenes so much, and he does voice work, and he's so precise with the sound design. But he knows how to work a stage. I know he was General Grievous, but we got to get him some other like hosting gigs, live action gigs. Like he's just really good like that. Yeah. That was definitely a moment, Skip. I mean, what else from Boon to Eve? You had quite a number of interactions with. You had to manage that whole line for every single. We had 12 people there, so it was crazy.
Yeah, it was. That was Dave was like, maybe we should get you to help. I said, no. I said, really, you needed one person at the door. Because Dave was like, well, maybe I could go all the way down the line. And I said, yeah, but if you go all the way down the line and you find me 15 people that want Nelson Lee's signature, that's going to be too many. Let me pull them as they're coming to me. I'll call the thing. I said, plus you've got this issue where you've got people that wanted everybody's signature. So I had to manage. I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. You're going to come over here and you're going to stand in one spot. You could get Pam's, Marty Metellus, thank you, and Nelson and somebody else. Who was next to Nelson?
Omid Abtahi was next to Nelson, and then Christopher Sean was also right next to Nelson because we put the Gionos right near each other. And of course, smart idea. They're also a menace. I love the two of them. I interviewed them again together, and because that's how they are, right? They feed off each other's manic energy.
That's awesome.
And then throw Taylor in there, and it gets Bob and crazy.
Yeah, Taylor is also secretly a fire starter in the best way, and of course, I mean this all very lovingly. Like they are just high energy children. Yeah.
I've been listening to the Potter of Rebellion, and I feel like that's sort of like his main characteristic, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, much love.
Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't surprise me that he was a troublemaker. Not at all.
Yeah, and by troublemaker, I mean,
Not
all of them were incredibly professional and easy.
It's all good trouble.
Single one of them.
Good trouble.
Yeah.
All good trouble.
Yeah. I loved having all of them there, and I was very fortunate, as Skip said, to interview most of them at Eve. Where I'm actually digging through the videos right now because we posted a little clips here and there and a few pictures of me mostly from Rebel Scum. But like at Boon to Eve, I got to talk to who did I talk to? I talked to Pam, who Skip was talking about earlier. I spoke to Chris and Nelson together. Warren Proul Jr., who was at our family vacation last year, and I just didn't get him on film. We were going in alphabetical order, and I was literally going down the list, and like he was near the end, and I just missed him. And I was like, Warren, how has this happened? So we got him this year, and he also got inducted into our Hall of Fame.
Awesome.
So yeah, we had Hall of Fame inductions for Tate Fletcher, who came in. He wasn't one of our signing guests. He was at Rebel Scum. Emily escorted him, which was lovely. So we had Emily there and Chris Bartlett there, which was very cool. We inducted Marty Metellus. We inducted Tate Fletcher. We inducted Warren, which was really sweet. So we had like a nice group of people like added into the mix. It was a really fun event, and we had everyone up on stage. Like it was just a really, really good time,
That sounds fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely a moment in time, as all these things are, and then they end too quickly. But yeah, everyone was terrific. We had Fawn Davis there. Anna Graves, like Skip said, had quite the line because she doesn't do a lot of appearances. So we had a lot of people coming through. Here's the thing: she has a dedicated fan base. Women who had multiple Satine cosplays throughout the weekend coming back to see her. And like with props and stuff, like there was one woman who posted on her Instagram the group photo of Sam Witwer and Anna Graves, the death of the Duchess photo, and she's standing between them holding the Darksaber. Like it's the kind of thing I was like, this in full cosplay. She did not come to play. Like she came to slay down Sam Witwer. So
I love it.
Satine has some of the best outfits. Period.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
that's
the best dressed Star Wars. Maybe slightly behind Padme. Because when Padme was the queen, she had some very extravagant costume.
Yeah, but does Obi-Wan compliment anybody else's disguise other than Satine's? I mean,
Wow.
we'll have to watch as we go through the episodes. Does anyone else get a comment on nice disguise? I mean,
I got to see Tate and talk to him, and share a little. His dad is starting to suffer from dementia, and so I was like, oh yeah, I know what that's like, and we chatted about my father having gone through the same thing. So that was an interesting moment, and then and then Emily and I had this very strange conversation about my shoes because I had a pair of green Kizik's on, and she was like, "Oh, I like the color of your shoes." I said, "Oh, thank you." I said, "My wife got these for me. They're Kizik's," and she goes, "What?" I said, "Kizik's." I said, she goes, "Oh, those are those ones that you can." And I popped my shoes off real fast and stood on the floor with my shoes off. And I said, "Watch, pop, pop, go back on." She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "My husband has a pair of Skechers, and he thinks they're the best sneakers ever because he can pop them on just like the Kizik's can." And so the two of us are chit chatting about sneakers and my wife's buying husband's shoes. It was a fun and unique conversation. Of course, she's seen me a couple times, doesn't really recognize my name, but recognizes my face and looks at me and goes, "Hey."
That's a start.
Yeah. But yeah. I had a good time and a lot of really cool interactions. I think Dave O'Neill said this. Yeah, there he is. That the amount of interaction time that you got with the actors was significantly better than if you were at a larger con where there's 200 people in line and they don't have time to give you that time. I mean, Sam was pretty busy, and Katie was really busy. They weren't going to be able to interact like everybody else was, but everybody else was taking time to say hi. I saw Simon. That was my first time meeting Simon. He's a really cool guy. I think my wife. I was telling Sam. I said, "Yeah, the first time I met you, I said was in Anaheim in 23, or what? No, 22. I'm sorry, 22." I said, and I'm taking my wife to her first con, and we're going around. I said, "Well, do you want to go do the photo ops with me? It'll be cool. We can do them together." She's like, "Yeah, whatever, And then we walk in to get a picture with Sam, and she goes, "That's not so bad." So the Sam beauty was working its magic on my
He's
wife.
hypnotic. He actually has force powers. I did want to just put up Josh's comment real quick. So Josh Durazo, obviously one of the creators, owners, etc. At Rebel Scum Con. Thanks for tuning in, Josh. And we had a lovely time at your show. VCN loved partnering with you guys. I thought Boonta Eve was a smashing success. I thought that having us and having our guests come in afterwards and us being at the show was a blast. I had a media badge, and so I was walking around interviewing people. So at Rebel Scum Con, I believe there were about 30 guests, 35. We did it on Celebrating Autographs, and I can't remember the name, the list, but I made my way through, and I got almost everyone. Like, it was pretty impressive.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, from Dennis Lawson, who was in A New Hope, to all three of the pirates from Skeleton Crew. Like, it was that recent. And the guy, Piero, who plays Mon Mothma's snappy assistant in Andor, got to meet him. He was lovely. Everyone was terrific across the board. Prequel people. Long interviews. Dave was my cameraman, and at one point his arm was going to fall off. So between Jeff and Dave and Jen Bergen, praise the maker for Jen coming in as well. They were my camera people as I did a lot of talking this weekend, which is my voice.
Let's be honest. The actors did a lot of talking too. I was watching a couple of interviews, and I was in line watching, and then I'd turn around, and you're still talking.
Mm-hmm. And they kept going for me. It was wonderful.
But that's a good thing, right? I mean, to me, that speaks volumes about the people who are the actors and the franchise itself. I mean, there's nothing worse than these poor, actors that are having these drudgery questions asked them on the red carpet, and they're just, one-word answers and having things dragged out of them. I mean, that just, I feel like that says so much about these wonderful people that just love Star Wars as much as we do. And it's just so
Tom had a great time. He scored a bunch of autographs at Boon to Eve. We made sure he got around to everybody.
Yeah. And this dynamic of Nelson and Chris cannot be beat. They are a power duo. I told them that they need to figure out how to turn that into something. I said that last summer when I interviewed them.
They need a shtick. They really do. Yeah.
Well, what I think a lot of people don't realize about Christopher Sean is that he's very funny. So I was talking to him after our panel because in the panel he wanted to be my fake antagonist and be the bad boy of the panel. And so we had a little bit of that in the panel, which was so fun because he knows how to play and I know how to sort of improv back with him. And I told him, I was like, people know you for your mocap work, your voice actor work, the things you do in video games. And of course you're on screen with the soap operas and of course your fitness stuff. But I don't think people realize how funny you are. And it's probably your seventh characteristic if we were going to make the list. I think it needs to be in your top 3. I think you're funnier than you are many of those other things you're already known for. And you need to lean into that because he's so quick too. He's just yeah. And I don't think he's kind of too hot to be funny. It's that kind of thing. So
Yeah. I had way more fun. I had way more fun talking to him last summer than I thought I was going to. The two of them together, Chris and Nelson. It was I thought it was just going to be a thing, and then it was a whole shtick that was going on for multiple minutes. And then of course I had to throw JB under the bus and tell him that my husband was a pilot, and he actually really enjoyed Resistance. And boom, that took off on a whole other vein of things.
Does he still text you? Because I'm sure he literally walked around and started introducing himself to people. He's just very awesome. He's got great extrovert energy in that regard, and I think unlike a lot of other people, he just is sort of fearless in that regard. I know how hard it is to meet people for the first time and what to say. He does not care. He will come up to you and be like, "Hi, I'm Chris. I played Kaz in Resistance. Who are you?" Cool. That being I watched you in Skeleton Crew. You were great. And you're sort of disarmed because it's there's this giant man. I'm he's even bigger this summer, Sarah. I couldn't even it was wild seeing him. So and I'm yeah, right. Who are you? Yes.
Well, he was at least sitting down when I met him, which is good because I'm only 5'3", and I might not have been able to speak if he had.
Well, I think Jen was in a permanent hug throughout the thing. So Jen was his handler. She got a lot of hugs. And she did a great job managing Chris and keeping him mostly out of trouble. But everyone was just delightful. John Morton actually just posted, I'm trying to keep up with social media and real life and sort through my videos and make sure everything makes sense. John Morton
come on,
just
it's been 24 hours, man. Come on, stay on top of it. You're obviously falling behind here.
Well, there was one guy that came in and brought 27 items for John Morton to assign.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, he specifically came for John and was if you guys have it, I'm bringing my wagon full of stuff, which John was thrilled to sign. He loves, this Boba Fett and Dak. But John's message, and he specifically, and I wanted to call this out as well, specifically mentioned Kathy. So Kathy was our event planner and organized all of the logistics
well done,
at
Kathy.
Boon to Eve. Yeah, Kathy Chase, our events director. Huge shout out to Kathy. She basically made this whole event happen with organizing the talent, getting them placed. One who flew out for the site visit and met with the owner of the bar and went through the seating arrangements and all of the little details.
Good.
Organized all the vehicles to pick people up. So Skip was one of the drivers. He was under Kathy's purview during that. It was who's going to pick up who when. So Kathy had everyone's flight logs, the vehicle list, who was going.
Wow. She is so good at that. She is so good.
Yeah, I was okay, I need Pam's flight number so I can, and I had it on my my app that tracks your flight tracker.
Texty.
And I was watching her come in from Las Vegas. I was okay, here we go.
Yeah, but yes, I do. I want to say Dave's comment, yay for Kathy.
That's a special skill. It really is, yeah.
Before we get into the episode, which we are going to do, we might start a couple minutes late. I did want to give a bunch of shout outs to people who probably are a little more behind the scenes and I don't think get their flowers. I was on screen a lot. So you're going to see a lot of pictures of me and videos with me. Someone's holding that camera, right? So Jeff, despite his major foot issue, was hobbling around and was trying to keep it a secret. I was like, Jeff, what's up? And he's like, my foot hurts. So Jeff, the bravest man in the VCN, was hobbling around filming me on day one,
injuring himself for the cause. I mean, come on.
I know. And then I was like, give the camera to someone else. So then Dave swooped in and became the cameraman. Jen was my camera person, as well as doing, when we had 3 people, she was our person in the 3rd spot doing still stuff. We also had Mark Truax sitting out at the table for the entire show doing the swag, the whole show. Really? So he's the king of swag, as you know. He does the patches and interacts. He's like basically the face of the brand when you're coming to any convention. Like, he runs the table and you spin the wheel and you talk to him. You get your patches.
He's the quartermaster. Yeah, you're not getting any patches unless you know the password.
Patches, pins. Yeah, he had it all set up out there. Yeah, people were enjoying spinning the wheel and then learning about us.
Yep. And his friend Barbie, that's his last name. I'm always blanking on his first name. Was assisting him the whole time. So Mark was there, Barbie, and then Dave and Jeff doing all of the videoing and behind the scenes kind of organization and stuff. Spencer was doing a lot of press for Rebel Scum Con, so you probably saw him on air. And his camera person was AJ, who's our marketing person. So between AJ filming Spencer and doing our Instagram and putting stuff out on all the other messaging, like AJ was doing 5 jobs. And then on the final day, AJ became my cameraman. And so he's recorded a bunch of my other interviews. And at one point, he just set up the thing and like walked away for a minute and came back, and he was like, and then it's like still going. And then he left and he came back again. And it was like, going because our interviews went 5 to 7 minutes. Like, everyone just kept talking to me, and I was like, we can stop now. But
so AJ hasn't slept all weekend, basically.
Yeah, he's been swamped. And we had a lot of volunteers too. Skip, how many people were working with you to help wrangle the talent, working under Kathy?
Liberty was, Scott was, Jennifer was. I'm missing somebody because there was a 4th person back there that was helping out. And it went very smooth. Smooth. It was a good time.
Spencer, Jeff, Dave, Kathy, AJ. It did not go 17 minutes, Dave. But 5 to 7. Jeremy, thank you, Jeremy. Yes, Jeremy was incredibly helpful. And this was across Boonta and Rebel Scum. Like, people worked. Oh my God, Bryce. Bryce was, aside from our #1 driver, was also he picked up a lot of talent. And I was joking. I was like, oh, you get your own little like meet and greet in the car. He's like, I'm driving the car. So he did have some great stories the same way Skip does. And Alex as well. So Bryce and Alex.
Alex helped out with Diana.
Yep. And Bryce did, aside from all of the driving.
And Texas is not a small place, y'all.
No,
I mean,
the airport was a half an hour away.
Smaller states, it can be a little unusual if you're not used to like those like 10 hours to cross the breadth of your states. It can be a little. It's a lot, and then you deal with traffic and big cities and all those things. So, driver is a big deal.
And it was we constantly needed something. Like, it was always, who's around to do this thing? Can someone go get that thing? I can't tell you how many times I went to the bar to get a drink for someone. Of like, oh, someone needs a soda, someone needs a water. Let me run to the back, run to the front. I've got more steps in Boonta Eve than I did probably the entire rest of the convention.
I was gonna say, so we need PAs for the next event, is what you're saying, like, right?
With that in mind. This is sort of my call to arms right now. We're going to be doing a lot more of these, you guys. Like, it was a resounding success. So if anyone is in the chat right now and wants to know how they can get involved, how they can help out, how they can be included, how you can get a very fancy staff shirt with the beautiful red shirt that we were all wearing, all you have to do is volunteer and come to something like this, and we will find you work. Jen came sort of last minute and was like, hey, what do you got for me? I was like, girl, I have 15 tasks. You choose your own adventure. And she ended up repping Christopher Sean, being my cameraman, and just generally like being the person when we needed something. Kathy would sometimes send a text being like, can someone do this? And then someone would be like, on it. We had our little control center kind of thing. Someone run up to the room. I had to smuggle pillows out of my room to bring to the bar. I won't get into more specifics, but I had to stuff it into
whose room did you smuggle those?
I stole them from Skip's room because I slept on the couch, first of all. I slept on the couch like a 20-year-old, and so I didn't want to use the pillows I was using to sleep on the couch. So I stole Skip's pillows, put them in my luggage, smuggled them to the bar, used them at the bar, and then smuggled them back.
This is a great story. So
wait, Scott, wait, what? Hold on. I'm trying to keep it PG here, folks. What were we using pillows in the bar for?
More comfortable seating. More comfortable seating.
Yeah, John Morton was 80 years old and needed some cushion to sit on instead of a wooden bench.
Okay.
And Mark's like, okay, I'm going to steal your pillows. I'm like, okay. I said, now help me out here. When you're walking past the front desk with the pillows that obviously come off of the sofas because they're all matching, I said, exactly. What are you going to tell them? That we're just borrowing them to take them to a bar so somebody can sit on them? So all of a sudden it was like,
it's as if no one was ever in a fraternity. Like, does no one know how to steal shit? Like,
it is Texas, and it is still kind of ingrained that like sort of cowboy hospitality. If you'd have just like got right up in their face and been like, "It is an 80-year-old man who needs a cushion at a bar," okay, they'd have been like, "Well, all right then, yeah, no problem."
I don't ask for forgiveness. I just do it and hope I don't get
Yes,
caught. Blur. I also want to put up Sherry's note. Yeah, Sherry, we will put you to work too. And at Boonta 27, you're going to be smuggling pillows for someone because we talked about the 50th coming up.
Official
pillow smuggler needs to be on. Needs to be one of the job titles.
Bring us a bag.
Yeah.
So that was just a slice of the stupid and the crazy. We have so much
call
more
them
we
the
could talk about.
Vizagos. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Vizagos are the pillow smugglers. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
And breakfast was a great time because, I mean, you know, the hotel was designed in a big column. So all the rooms went around the outside, and then you come out and look down the balcony, and down you either had the lobby or you had the atrium, which also acted as the restaurant. And so breakfast was served in that atrium, and everybody that was staying there would come downstairs and have breakfast. So I saw Sam there, I saw Michelle Ang there, I saw Lauren Peterson. In fact, we got into a long conversation with Lauren about how he broke his hand climbing a ladder, and he had like some kind of like hand fabric cast that he was still wearing. And I looked at him and he goes, "Yeah, and my wife came home and found out that I fell off the ladder, and she was telling me that no longer am I allowed to climb the ladder while nobody else is in the house." And I said, "Well, Lauren," I said, "you know, I'm a contractor, and we don't let people climb ladders by themselves. No. There's have somebody around."
Yeah. We're going to start the episode in just a minute, and we're going to continue telling stories as we go. But this is the third episode of the Mandalorian arc, which is why Sarah and JB are helping to close this out. So I'm going to largely let them comment on the episode as we go, because I know that you guys specifically requested this arc.
It's the first time we get to see Mandalore. It's the first time we meet Satine, Obi-Wan's one true love. Come on, it was a big deal. You asked me what I wanted, so I threw down. Let's do it.
Yeah. No, I love it. And we are going to have some other co-hosts coming up soon, and more fun stuff coming on the programming front, the event front, the helper front. Like, more people are getting involved than ever. And actually, I had numerous people come up to me and saying like they wanted, like after Boonta, want to get involved and do things. That's amazing. Which is exactly what we're looking for. So, Sherry, don't you worry, girl. You're going to be, especially with the 50th, like everyone is significantly older now. We're going to need a lot more pillows, but also like, I think anyone who is from the original trilogy should be in Los Angeles in the year 2027 for this event. So I feel like it's going to be a significantly older group of people, plus the new movie people. Anyone who's in the Mando Grogu movie, and then anyone who is going to be from the next movie. So it's going to be an interesting range for sure. Yeah. Okay, let's get into the episode. So Skip, it is your time to shine as always.
Let's see if I can not mess it up.
I hope. It's more fun when you mess it up. Season 2, episode 14, Duchess of Mandalore. Even though we've met this lady before, now we're like air quotes meeting her again.
When Satine is accused of murder, the Senate orders an invasion of Mandalore. Obi-Wan faces a race against time to prove the Separatists are behind it all.
And then the lesson in war, truth is the first casualty. I actually really love that one.
Yeah.
JB, how do you feel about that?
Oh my God, it is spot on. It is absolutely spot on, because no matter what side of the war you are on, you are bending the narrative to suit your purpose. And yeah, I mean this episode. Well, it is amazing.
The 12th Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's exactly where I went, Mark. That's exactly where I went. Peter's incredible speech.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Which I misremembered once and thought it was 11, or 10. I was thinking it was the 50th when they're talking to the Zygons.
The Zygons.
There's something similar about, but
10 would be okay. Well, I mean, it is the same.
It's connected,
arc.
right? It's
the
the follow-on
It's just
story
the other
arc
end of
that.
it. Yeah. So fair enough. I get it. That happens.
No, but it's absolutely, and rewatching this episode, how much is applicable to today, especially with social media, with generative AI. It's
occupying a certain capital.
It is a truism that is going to continue on. And what's fantastic about this story, the whole Star Wars story, is how applicable it is to what human nature has to struggle with.
Who knew it was all going to start with trade disputes?
Right?
Yeah. George Lucas in 1999.
George did in 1999, actually. Yeah.
Who's the Greek oracle who can see the future but no one believes her?
Cassandra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's my favorite.
Cassandra. There's Cassandra something happening. I have a coworker like that. She's like, this is going to be a problem, and no one listens to her, mostly because her pronouns are her. And then all of a sudden, I think when it happens, it's like, oh, there's that actualized risk of the risk I called out. It actualized.
And nobody has anything to say. It's just crickets.
She's from Troy, though.
Yeah.
Troy, not Greek. Oh, okay. All right, good to know.
Fair enough.
Depending on which,
All right, let's find
out of that war.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the episode because we'll go a few minutes over, but we still have time to basically almost fit it in. We're in season 2, episode 14, Duchess of Mandalore. All right, I'm going to hit the 10-second countdown, and here we go. So as we get into this arc, just to reiterate, Anna Graves is like the greatest person ever, and she put up a beautiful thing on her Instagram today too, saying how wonderful it was being in Texas for the event. So
cute.
I know. It was a weekend of love. So Dave, did we talk about the amazing cosplay of one of your other co-hosts? Yes, we did talk about the Satine cosplay. It was, there were some incredible cosplays at the show, period. But the Satine ones were off the rails in some ways.
They are dedicated. For someone that only shows up in a few episodes of the Clone Wars. I mean, given the grand total overall, she actually has multiple arcs. But
not a high quantity of episodes for sure.
Exactly. Or even a high quantity of outfits to pick from, as opposed to, like Skip said, with Padme,
But none of those outfits are simple. I mean, they are all...
Right.
Yeah, that's who I thought Dave was talking about. Dave was talking about...
All right, I'm going to get to both of Dave's comments because you're right. The Simpsons is actually the arbiter of all things that will happen and has happened. So Colin, my friend Colin, who's hosted Rebels Revisited with us, he did an amazing cosplay of Ezra. Now, it's a little sore subject for me because I packed my Ezra armor, my bracers, my pants, my lightsaber, and like an idiot, I forgot the orange shirt that is like the linchpin of the costume. And as I was going to dress into it for my panel, I realized I didn't have it, and I had to borrow Colin's shirt. So the picture you see of me in that orange shirt, you can also see on my Instagram the picture of Colin where it's like fully put together with the armor and everything. He looked amazing, and he met Taylor. Taylor signed his lightsaber and took a picture with him.
Oh, yay.
Cool.
I love it.
Yeah, they look amazing together, and I'm so sad that I wasn't also in Ezra cosplay, so I borrowed a watered down version of Colin's to host my panel. And it was, it turned out really great. And I had my little staple gun lightsaber, but I also forgot my Loth Cat. I was a mess. I did so much prep for this damn show, and I forgot my Loth Cat and my orange shirt. But I did get my Rebels poster signed. I added Anna to it, so I put her over Sabine because she's the Night Sister Sabine.
Yes.
Where is she? Right there.
Other side. Other way. Go the other way.
Where am I going?
Other way. You're the other way.
Oh my God! I'm totally wrong.
There you go. There we are.
I was like, no, that looks like Anna Graves. There we go. Anna Graves over Sabine. I actually still need to get Tia. She's the one person missing from the core cast, and I have to add Steven Stanton, and I have space for him. I'm also really considering at this point now getting a Clone Wars piece.
You mean like this one?
Oh, I'm so jealous that I didn't do that picture skip, and I'm also pissed you didn't pull me in, but I was working, and I can't be mad at you ever. So
you were well.
I was
the way it went. You never knew when it was going to happen, or if it was going to happen.
That too. I mean, and at any given moment, I could be running up to the room for something, or running to somewhere. It was really weird. Meanwhile, we're missing all this great stuff in the Senate. We're seeing all these amazing characters. We got Palpatine, Maz Amedda, which is actually played by Stephen Stanton.
Watching Satine go after these guys. They are trying to shut her down.
Mm-hmm.
And so all my conversations before in the previous 2 episodes about doesn't anybody have a recording? Doesn't anybody have a recording? Do you have a camera? Are you taking pictures? Now we have a recording and it's being edited.
Yep.
Awesome. Can you imagine that? The government that doesn't have secrets from its people. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, everyone needs to rewatch this show. Yeah, Taylor Gray had a great time at this event, and so did Anna.
I'm so
glad. There's a Darksaber around too. Oh my god, the cosplays are amazing across the board. So of course there's a recording. This is so generative AI, fake news, fake recording.
And I just love Obi-Wan just lurking in the background, watching it, going. I mean, she's just so adamant. She's like, he would not do this, Well,
I think it's interesting is very few people are in her corner right now.
Yeah.
And we're going to see, too, in this next scene that even Obi-Wan's not completely sure, nor is Padme. So she is in this large Senate chamber basically alone. And
and she's like, I have a right to make my own choice. And he's like, oh, we're going to save you. And she's like, fuck off. Like, no, thank you. I don't need you to come in here and save me.
Yeah, Mandalore has to remain neutral.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that the Republic believes that its own security is worth
Well, the only one who believes that is Palpatine, and he is doing a very, very good job of convincing everybody else of that fact, which is the issue that we have run into this entire conflict.
Yeah, it's the shroud of the dark side is
manipulation.
The manipulation.
Yeah. Yep. You say the lie often enough, and people begin to believe it's true.
One of the cool things about being at the show and talking to the actors, I was able to ask some philosophical stuff. And even though I didn't get to record with Kyle Solar, Jen bought an autograph and a selfie. She bought an autograph for her son. And I got in the selfie, and while we were waiting in line, we had a couple minutes because we got in early because of our media passes. And I told him, I was like, I feel like the real tragedy of Cyril, there's so many slices to it, but the craziest part of the tragedy is that he probably found his tribe on Gorman. Like, those are his people, the beautifully tailored, perfectly perfect outfits. He would have found like the most beautiful wife. They would have made like a wedding dress together. They would have sewn it together. They would have had perfectly tailored children. Like, it's so crazy. And that's where he is killed. The irony of it all, because he's like too blinded by his like obsession. Destroyed. Yeah. It
didn't even live on afterwards. It's not like he missed his chance. Like, it was utterly demolished,
Yeah. Just, he like sort of brought its ruination. And he's like, oh yeah, that's heartbreaking. He's like, yeah, there's so much tragedy to this character. It's hard to be angry at him. And instead you feel sadness for him. Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that we were able to talk about with people. Aside from like the 7-minute interviews, as David can attest. Dave O'Neill, you were a trooper. That man followed me around. When I say all day Saturday, I was like, Dave, we're going over here. Dave, we're going over here. And I'm like, and I'm walking at Mark speed. And then there's right behind me, there's Dave, and sometimes Jen pushing people out of the way. Get out. And then just filming. And
this poor pilot. Oh, I hate this part of the episode.
I can't believe they roll like that. Holy, I mean,
Star Wars physics. We're just going to leave it at that.
So they try to kill Satine.
And
they
then
definitely like maimed her driver.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Well, that's no proof.
There's no proof.
There's no proof anyone tampered with anything. I love that she's more suspicious of Palpatine than every other person that's ever spoken to him in the last, like, however long.
And she's like, what is up with those two?
Dave, I want to put this up for two reasons. My Uber driver at 4 a.m. this morning had a whole dissertation on the theory of Darth Jar Jar, right? That tracks. It's been that kind of weekend. Also, Ubers at 4 in the morning were a regular thing. As Skip was saying, there was something about breakfast. There was nothing better than coming down to breakfast and recognizing someone had stayed up too late or was in the same shirt as the last night. Because people partied this weekend. It was a lot of that, along with all the other work that was happening. It was kind of funny because you're in the hotel and like the convention is feet away, which is why I was able to run back up to my room constantly. I was like, oh, I need to either reapply my deodorant or just like pee or like refill my water. We were constantly checking if like, did housekeeping come? Because at some point I was sharing the room with me and Jeff and Bryce. There was always someone in the room. There was like constantly up and down, especially with Bryce going in and out, driving people. And so at one point housekeeping came and I was there, and then housekeeping came back and Jeff was there, and then housekeeping came back and Bryce was there. And finally I was like, just come back at like 6 o'clock or something. It was like that kind of thing. Their dynamic is so strained at this point. Like,
yeah, so determined to be self-reliant, you've cut everybody out.
That's a trauma response. We can recognize that now. Yeah. I like that Padme enters frame and she's like, oh, I recognize this dynamic. Yeah. All these Jedi who definitely aren't sleeping with women. Yeah, the pretense for invasion is flimsy at best. And I don't even understand how you move that quickly on anything. Like
you hold the vote in the middle of the night.
Oh, that too. Those are always effective.
Yeah, you do.
And it's difficult.
We'll just executive order that shit. We're gonna start getting too political on this show. Who should we start a fight with today? You guys aren't really in DC proper, though, right?
No,
just outside.
We're Alexandria City, so we're south of DC.
Like just over the river.
I mean, we're not literally
far, but... we're the part of the triangle that got cut off to not be included in DC. So we're like just right there. Yep.
I'm gonna get back to Star Wars lore for a second because I don't know how I feel about this. I think no on both fronts, Dave.
Agreed.
I don't think so. I don't think she could. I think. Okay. Could she wield the Darksaber? Yeah, she can swing a sword and chop a head off, no doubt.
Probably about as well as Din Djarin did, honestly.
I think that she's well trained in weapons because being someone
she doesn't like weapons.
No, she doesn't like them.
Doesn't mean she's not trained. I think that's because you see her guards are badasses. I mean, they took out droids in the last episode.
But those are her guards. Okay, so this is just me, but I think her distinct aversion to violence and her dedication to being a pacifist means that if she picked up the Darksaber, she would have a horrible struggle with it. Because she doesn't like the weapon. She doesn't want to be wielding it. And that whole battle with understanding the Darksaber and fighting against it and everything they talked about in The Mandalorian and with Sabine, she doesn't have a proclivity to it just because she was trained. She rejected it. She turned away from it. So I feel like if she ever got her hands on it, it would not go well, personally.
Interesting. She's a good shot, though.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, I don't my feeling is I think she is trained in these things and she doesn't like to use them, but I think she's probably pretty skilled. Like I would agree with JB on this one. But I love how poor of a shot Jango Fett is, or whoever this like low rent Jango Fett.
There's a lot of Mandalorian assassin who sounds a lot like Crosshair, if you ask me.
Yeah. There's a lot of Attack of the Clone vibes in this episode, right?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
Coruscant, the assassination attempts, the Obi-Wan, and so.
Oh, speaking of Attack of the Clones, I had a long conversation with Rena Owen. Rena, not Rena. I always thought it was Rena. Rena Owen, who plays Nala Se. Tanwi.
Tanwi.
And then Michelle Ang was there from Bad Batch. There's a little Bad Batch reunion. And a lot of other prequel people. And a lot of Revenge of the Sith people. Ross Beedman, oh man, on his final day there, he was wearing a sleeveless shirt. And I was like, well, now I have to hide my arms. Because between him and Christopher Sean, the two of them are like battle ready. And Aiden was there, and Matthew Wood, and a ton of other people who worked on the prequels. Tux Ekindinyoe was there. and Alan Rusko, who you never really see on the circuit. So a lot of like if you had an Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith poster, you could have made your way around and like snag multiple people. It was awesome.
Well, and Plo Koon.
Yes.
I never knew that Jedi was so big.
Yeah, Plo Koon is really important because the retcon of the story in Clone Wars is that he's the one who brings Ahsoka into the Order. So he's now forever linked to Ahsoka, which raises his stake. He also has a really good death scene in Order 66. So I think, oh boy, David O'Neill, Ross was saber fighting with Tux and Howie. I didn't realize that Howie could wield a saber. Tux, I believe. Tux is a tall man. I was doing my interview like this. He's also like a big dude too, and he's kind of a stunt guy. And we talked a little bit about his lightsaber fight, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm in it for 3 seconds." And I was like, "I know, but like, I also feel like if Palpatine didn't get the best of you in that one moment, like you would have put up a fighting shot." Like, yeah. Also, Agent Kolar has a ton of merch. There's like action figures and all sorts of stuff for that character, even though he doesn't have like a ton of screen time. So that's always cool. That you get toys from that era, particularly, you know.
Okay, this is hysterical. The clone's trying to talk to the. It's like, never mind. Let's find
holding up the data pad. Yeah.
That's trying to use Google Translator. It's not quite working very well.
Doesn't understand. Let's go find somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that though.
The Rock, the mountaintop thing that they pull in from the Mandalorian. You guys, I had no idea this was the first time we ever saw it.
So I did real quick digging on this. But technically, the first time you saw it is in the special edition Return of the Jedi scene, Coruscant.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Then it's this shows. Yep, over the fireworks is where you first see it, and then here's where you get the best scene.
I love this. She's like, "Hey, you want to meet in Times Square?"
Yeah, right.
It's the best place to do it.
No kidding. It is the busiest place in the freaking world.
That's what I mean. There should be more cameras there than anywhere.
And he's right. I mean,
Yep. Plaza. Love it. Yeah, it was great. It was fun. I don't think I had quite the significance of that location until I read the High Republic.
Yeah.
Until you read the
how much taller the mountain was
and
back in the era of the High Republic, and how much the city has built up.
Yeah.
Monument Plaza.
Sherry, Sherry is the Wikipedia.
Thanks, Sherry.
Girl. Thank you, Sherry.
So they're Googling for us. Thank you.
Yeah. In The Mandalorian, when Omid Abtahi is in the episode with this, well, there's another beat to it. Apparently, because it was COVID-y, the only way his son could have come to set is if he's in the show, and his son got to be an extra in the background.
Oh, that's cool.
And there I am being like, in the audience. This is part of Dave's panel. So Dave O'Neill did a really excellent job hosting the Into the Mandoverse panel. So it had people who were in various slices of the Filoniverse, and so it was Omid Abtahi, Chris Bartlett, Nelson Lee, and Diana Lee. And some of them had shared scenes together, but not all of them. But they all had various like slices of like being in Ahsoka or Mando or Book of Boba Fett and everything. And Diana was great. They came ready with stories. Omid Abtahi about how when he got the call from Mando, he was asleep and had taken some sleep enhancing drug because he needed to sleep. And when he woke up, he was so high he didn't realize what was happening and had to have his agent call him back to explain what was going on. So
that's hysterical.
So it was very good.
The story about him telling his kid, he goes, "Okay, now when he says action, I'm no longer daddy."
Yeah. And he talks about picking out the glasses too, which Skip was talking about earlier. And they showed him all these boxes, and he picked that one set. It was a one of a kind pair of glasses from the 60s. So then they had to replicate copies, of course, for production. But yeah.
Oh my god.
I like that Satine was like, "I'm not touching this lightsaber. I'll give it to the person who can use it." Yeah.
Well,
Obi-Wan is always fighting a Mandalorian.
Yeah. Oh. That is quite the fall. Oh yeah, he's got the jetpack.
He's got the jetpack.
Girl, this is why you got a force choke. Come on, man. What are we doing?
He's not going to do that in front of his woman. Come on.
Oh my god, that's the best.
Yeah.
I love how she called him Obi, though.
Yeah.
I hate that nickname.
Just Obi.
I hate that nickname. I thought it when I first watched this, and I still feel it. I think it would have been best if she had called him Ben. if she'd been the one who invented the nickname that he used in Tatooine. I thought that would have been adorable. And I'm like, Obi? What? He's not a waist tie from Japan? What the hell? I'm like, no, stop. No. Don't like it at all. Ick. But I did love how that
You'll always
said,
be Ben to me.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, we talked about it in the animation panel that I hosted. The Lawless is still the top-rated episode in Clone Wars, and it's unreal. And Anna still gets asked questions about it all the time. So it's like the number one thing that people go to when talking to her.
I bet. I mean, it drops all the bombs. I mean, we get Bo-Katan, we get Corky, we get all the things all at once, combined with the most epic death scene ever.
Darth Maul and Savage Opress as well, fighting Palpatine. She was talking about recording with Clancy Brown and Ian Abercrombie for that, because she was a guest star, so she only popped in a little bit for that, but she was right there, like near Ian and Clancy, and she said because with Clone Wars, you're mostly recording in a group, but if you're a guest star, you don't always do that. But she was able to record together. By the way, I think our panel, so David hosted the Mando panel, I hosted the animation panel. I believe that, I know for a fact that Rebel Scum Con filmed everything, but I don't know when it's coming out or whatever. But as soon as it does, we'll make sure we share it on the page for everyone. Maybe we'll even do a watch along of our panels. Is that douchey? Like for me and Dave to be like, come watch us watch ourselves on the panel. Like, I don't know. But there are other panels from Rebel Scum Con that were really interesting. The Sackhoff show, crazy stuff happened in there, and they mentioned Boon to Eve, which was cool.
No way!
So they talked about that, so that was neat. But all of the panels, Cyril at one point flops onto the couch and does like the Cyril flop, which was I was like, that's amazing. I said Kyle, right? Not Cyril. Kyle does the Cyril flop. So,
but now he set himself up, and he's going to have to do that forever. Every convention.
Every convention, they're going to have a couch for him and not just a chair. Although if I were him, I'd be smart. I'd be like, I'm going to need a chair so they don't ask me to flop.
I want like a chaise lounge.
Oh,
right?
A fainting chair,
like
girl.
A fainting couch thing, like face plant on the fainting couch. Yeah, I agree. This could be a whole thing.
Yeah, he's
I love this. He's like, thankfully, with this new information, the occupation is not necessary. I would be like, fuck you. I'm going to punch you in the face.
Yeah, Satine, she's just like, you piece of crap. Like, he's just looking at him like, Oh, offering a apology, are you? Her face is just glass. She's like, sure, whatevs.
I would have been like, we're going to invade you, actually. Our system's bigger. Yeah. Oh, so Sherry saw Richard posted about the flop. Yeah, so Richard from the Skywalkers, Richard and Sarah, they are also there. They were at our event at Bunta, of course. They have their book and their show. I always want to call it a podcast, but it's also a YouTube show and everything. And yeah, I think they did a lot of recording as well. And they hosted their own panel. They had a trivia thing.
Yeah, they did their trivia contest.
Yeah. And I didn't realize the way they do trivia, they break the room in two. And so you're two teams battling against each other as opposed to individual trivia. That sounds fun. Imagine us as a team and we could all because I know I'm terrible at trivia, actually.
Do they do a spokesperson?
I'm not 100%
like
sure.
Who gets the is it like Family Feud, like the head person gets to make the final answer? Because I could see like Davician getting really vicious and cutthroating and arguing over what's the right answer, and if the loudest person shouts, like, you got to have a spokesperson, man.
Yeah,
like,
you need
you gotta
a point
have somebody
person.
who gives the final answer, right? You know?
Yeah, I agree. I'll talk to Richard and Sarah and find out, or I could just watch on Instagram and see how they do it.
Well, if they don't do it that way, if we're involved, it needs to be like an add-on.
That could be a fun thing we do on the network is partner with them and do a trivia game night with everyone. So maybe instead of a Thursday night watch along, when we're in the off season of no content airing, we do a trivia thing with them and air it on both the channels. I'm actually constantly looking for new content ideas, guys. Like, we're brewing a lot of things behind the scenes, but like, if anyone has ideas, I met a lot of people this weekend who want to work with us across the YouTubes and stuff. So be on the lookout. More really fun stuff is coming. And I do want to put up Dave's comment real quick. So Jeff was on a panel with the Skywalkers and they read a comic. It was a classic Marvel Star Wars comic. Oh, there it is. Dave put it up right after number 55. And apparently I think Jeff was Chewbacca. Am I right? You didn't make it to that panel, did you?
I didn't make it to that panel.
Yeah, I had already left because this was Sunday late in the day, and I had to catch my flight.
I was gone. I was home.
Yeah. I heard it was really good. So again, I don't know if Josh is still in the chat or anyone from Rebel Scum, but once we know where these are going to be posted online, we'll make sure to share them on our page. And I think maybe we can do little watch-alongs. Like each panel is about 45 minutes. Mine ran for I think it was just under 50 minutes, start to finish. And I think they're all going to be available online on YouTube. So we can definitely do some watch-alongs from Rebel Scum, and maybe that becomes like an incremental weekly thing we do. I don't know. We're figuring it out.
I love it. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Family Feud.
Yes. I think that would be so much fun. You know what we should do is like we get the various hosts and put them into teams, and it could be like Team Revisited versus like Team Unifying Archives or something. Or Team Watch Along. I can't have Jeff and David Spencer on one team though. That's too much. Yeah.
Nope. That's a bad plan.
I could see this. Jeff is really good at this kind of stuff, you guys. Like, I could really see him leaning into this and being the utility player of the crew.
I love it.
That'd be a lot of fun. So again, as soon as we know more, you guys will know more. And I want to tease a couple things and reiterate some of the announcements that happened at the show. So number one, first and foremost, is we announced the family vacation. And I'm going to see if I have a graphic for this because I actually don't think we do. I can't remember if we added something to the graphics. No, it doesn't look like we did. So I'll just put this up. So family vacation coming soon.
Great.
Yeah, we're in the midst of figuring out exactly what we're going to be doing for the family vacation, but we aligned on a location and a time frame. So September of 2026 in Orlando, Florida. And of course, with being Orlando, we just did California in 24. And then for 2025, we had Japan for Celebration. So the next one, and Los Angeles is going to be Celebration 27. Yeah. So the idea is we couldn't go back to California. And so Orlando houses a theme park that is related to Star Wars. So everyone can make assumptions about what that might be if we're going to be doing Disney or whatever else. But September 2026, Orlando, Florida.
It's a big one. Lots of space, lots of stuff going on, lots of interesting
I've gotten squeezed out of all the spaces for a party at Jedi Way.
Yeah. And with that in mind, because we are still in the planning phases, if anyone has any recommendations or anything they would like to do, please contact me or Kathy or send an email to our events email. I think,
we need your ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
Plans, suggestions.
We really want everyone's input as we build this trip. We are still making some, moving some things around and adjustments and whatnot. Sooner than that, there will be another event being announced pretty soon for this year coming up, aside from Rhode Island Comic-Con, which Rhode Island is the next, all eyes are on Rhode Island at the moment. We are about 3 months out. So everyone remember to get your tickets for Rhode Island
Freddie Prinze hasn't canceled yet. Fingers crossed. He hasn't canceled yet. Fingers crossed.
Which one?
Freddie
Prinze Jr.
Oh,
I need him to sign my mural piece.
See, watch. I won't go to Rhode Island, and Freddie will show up, and for my my Rebels piece.
Oh, that's it.
Then you're not allowed to come, Skip. If that's the deciding factor, you can't come. He has to be the first to sign my mural. I have a slate piece with the mural on it. He has to be the first one.
I would love for you to have him sign that. I have something that I want to show you guys aside from the Rebels poster that I got signed. Also, I was gifted this ghost from Micro Squadron Galaxy. I'm sure you can't see it. This was a gift, a very sweet gift from Bobby, which I really, really appreciate. Thank you, Bobby, so much.
That's so nice.
I'm keeping it in box at the moment, but I think I'm going to have to take it out and display it prominently. I have a whole list of things I need to do, but here's the actual piece that I should have led with. This is my ghost, the HasLab ghost. This is the top of the ghost.
Yeah.
This is Taylor Gray's signature.
Oh. Shut up.
That's what I was able to fit. It's very tight, as you can see.
Clever.
But, I think maybe we get like the core group. I don't know.
I was gonna say, are you gonna get everybody like all around the outside?
I think I might. Like, I'm honestly in that camp of like, if Freddie actually comes to Rhode Island Comic Con, I'll bring that thing. And
I think I'm gonna have him sign my figure. That's still in mint in box. I'm definitely gonna bring that too.
I had the figure for Taylor, and I figured I would bring this instead. But if I see him again, and I'm sure we will, because he was delightful. Skip, you mostly did the professional photo ops and then got those items signed. Like, that was your big thing.
Yeah, my normal shtick, as you said, is to go get a photo op with somebody, and then try and get them autographed. Now, I goofed on this one because I got I went and got the autograph first, and then decided to go ahead and do the photo op. So I'll have to get this signed later.
Yeah.
And see that the little oops, this way. Yeah, there we go. The little toy that she's got there. The girl right before me had given this to her, and she decided she was going to get all her photos done with that toy.
Isn't that sweet?
That is
I love it.
And then I got just the autograph with Simon. I did get a selfie with him, but he's a very nice gentleman.
Mm-hmm. I had Simon sign my Mando poster, but that is inaccessible at the moment. I'll bring that next time.
Okay, she's also autographed my Darksaber.
That's awesome.
The Duchess.
Lovely.
Very sweet.
You can't read.
And you're wearing your Clone Wars Revisited shirt.
That's a great looking shirt.
Yeah. I had to.
I'm wearing my Corky Kree shirt, which I didn't get a chance to wear in front of Anna. I need to just send her one. At this point, we'll just mail her one. Very nice, Emily and Tate.
Whenever I talk to Bridget about Emily, I always say the sister of God. You know.
Yeah.
She was supernatural.
Yeah. Everyone there has other slices of fan. I got
Sarah, am I causing you to laugh? I mean.
No, I'm sorry.
So.
No, just.
Who knows the Magicians? Have we talked about the Magicians on this show? Like, I love the Magicians, and this is a promo item that I got from the Sci-Fi Network about the show. I highly recommend anyone watch the Magicians, first of all, but this is the book Hillary and Further that's based on, and I got the inside signed right here. So the funny thing is, so I was trying to figure out like what to do with this, right? Because the Skeleton Crew people, I was like, do I start a Skeleton Crew piece? And I was like, no, I really want to get Dominic Burgess to sign my Magicians item. And this, I think I'm going to start a Magicians piece now. It'll be in the book, and it's that's what I want to show you, the hollowed out book, and it's got the poster on the inside. So you can store like your secrets or whatever. But this for me is a emotional addition to the crew, not at all Star Wars related.
Oh, that's wonderful.
What's the gentleman? Dominic was his first name.
Dominic Burgess. That's who I was just saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Dominic is just the nicest man. He and I, he was walking around and we said hi and talked for probably 5 minutes before he, I said, well, I'll let you go because I felt like I was, taking all his time, and we got talking about anything but Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did my interview with him, and we talked a little bit about Magicians as well. And the interviews, I tried to do like not your basic sort of Star Wars questions. Everyone was so kind and spent a good amount of time when they could, because we would look for when lines were finished and then run over and be like, "Can we steal you for 2 minutes?" And that became 10. And everyone was like so agreeable. Dennis Lawson talked for longer than I expected. I must have spent 10 minutes with Roger Christian as he explained like the man who invented the lightsaber. And he's just like talking about the lightsaber. Like, it was so cool. And I was like, I hope you are on a panel for the 50th anniversary at the official show, because that was
yes, please.
Cool.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Also, Dave's saying that Taylor signed a bunch of stuff at Boonta. That was like mural cards and figures. So, was he really 17 minutes? Is he the one, Dave? I knew I was talking to Roger Christian for a while. And there are times when I was like, I hope I'm not taking too much of their time. Let me give them an exit ramp kind of question. And then sometimes they would start a new story. And I'd be like, well, I'm captivated, but I also don't want to be rude. So, like, there's always that give and take. And I was like, you know what? These are grown adults. They know what they're doing. Like, they can easily
quit when they're ready.
Yeah. And in fact, we had a few people who was like, hey, can we get your time? And they're like, please come back at this time. And so we had like schedules of like, okay, I got to go run and meet Femi Taylor at 3 p.m. Run on over, right? Follow it with Dave and Jen in tow, right? It was like something out of a cartoon, like Scooby-Doo, of us like running around with
yeah,
exactly.
It's funny.
It was really.
I got to invent you a droid camera for
There's some good tech out there. AJ got excellent new mics.
Like the little drone thingies. Yeah, the little drone cameras.
And you could just make it like you're an Inquisitor, and it could be part of your costume, and you're recording everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
Little claws put on the end.
We're going to start looking at the budgets of what we can start sending everyone out there with. We need armor and drones. Spencer, take note. Who's our treasurer? AJ's mic setup was amazing, though. We got these little wireless mics, and then really small and easy. And Jeff got one that was a Bluetooth connect that went into his phone. So even if you're standing far away, it picked up just the volume from there. That was fantastic. And then Dave had the lightsaber. Oh, Dave was just going to say, so you'll see in a lot of my pictures, I'm holding this lightsaber. There was a blue and a red, and it depended on which mic it was connected to. That was Dave's. So between Dave, Jeff, and AJ, we have the tech crew, the Geek Squad over there, getting us all set. So, and I had all my questions prepped. So we came ready to play. Like we were on point for this show. So be on the lookout for all of this content hitting the network over the next several weeks.
Yay.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So great.
All right, before I forget, we have to also talk about the Facebook page. I know we're over time and we're going to end in just a minute, but reminder that we are almost at 100,000 followers on Facebook. We've cleared 99. We gave away the Hayden Christensen autograph. We're now onto the De Novo Grogu statue. So be sure, everyone, to tell your friends, invite people to the page.
One more thing. Congratulations to Jeremy Padilla for winning our lightsaber from
Jeremy. No way.
Yeah. Yes, he won the Balin 2, I believe is what they called that one.
Wow.
It was very cool.
He was very excited. He and I ran into the same problem. They opened that box, and the box didn't have room to have the blade and the pommel attached to each other. So you had to separate them, and that thing is so heavy. They looked at it as a weapon. I got away with it when I got on the plane, but when he got on the plane, they said no, it's a weapon, or it could be used as a weapon, and they made him check it. So on his trip home, it was checked, but for mine, it was in the airport, which I wish I had checked it anyways, because the bottom line was it wouldn't fit in one of the closets in the last airplane, so they had to check it on me anyways.
As long as it didn't end up in a closet and then didn't go away, or got left behind like that one time.
It came out.
We're severely over time. I apologize. I know we had a lot to cover. But before we go, I want to do a quick shout out of rounds of thank yous and make sure I didn't forget anyone. So Dave and Skip, double check me. Dave and Jeff, as always, they keep this network afloat in every way, shape, and form, sometimes behind the scenes. I know I'm on camera a lot. Someone is holding that camera. Someone is doing the tech. Someone is doing the work behind the scenes. It's always them. They're incredible. Spencer for pulling together this big event. Kathy for being like the boots on the ground and organizing so much stuff. She's incredible. And really did a killer job wrangling everyone from the bar manager to the pillows for John Morton to everything else. Skip for being the line master, and every other volunteer who was there. So you said it was Jen, it was Jeremy, it was Liberty,
Scott.
Scott. That's what I missed.
And Mark.
Mark Truax for running the swag along with Barbie. And then Bryce for being our primary driver and doing every other Gopher task. It was amazing. So I believe that's everyone. And I'm just really impressed with how dedicated everyone is to making the network such a success. And thank you for Rebel ScumCon for hosting us and for giving us these opportunities. I never hosted a panel before. And they were like, do you want to host a panel? I was like, yeah, sure. And Dave too. And it went really well. And we had such a great time. So I can't wait to do it again. And yeah, it was just a really wonderful weekend with my best of friends and people who I never get to see in real life, seeing them in real life. You know, I was very emotional on the plane ride home. People probably thought I was returning from a funeral because I looked so sad because I was like, you know, and it's the come down. It's like the come down, the con crash, you know.
Con crash. It's real.
Yeah, it's a real thing, man. So, but I loved every minute of it, and I'm just overwhelmed by everyone's love for each other. The love was flowing. And thank you to all the actors who came out to Boonta Eve and to Rebel Scum. It was fantastic hosting you guys. We're going to do this again. It's going to be a party. More events are coming. Yeah. And
stay tuned.
Last batch of thank yous. JB and Sarah for guest hosting during this arc. We loved having you.
Yes.
We will be
Thanks for
seeing you
having us.
again soon.
Thank you for letting us crash. I appreciate it.
It's
Oh,
fantastic.
you've done it now.
Mandalorian.
You're trapped forever. So, yeah.
So we've got our true Mandalorians.
Yeah. You're always invited on at any point. And in fact,
Yeah.
when we need someone, we will reach out.
We're here.
Sarah, we don't have a Daughters of the Galaxy this week, but next week we're back to regularly scheduled Daughters of the Galaxy.
That's right. Looking forward to it. Getting to catch up with Ashley and everything she did at the Boston Fan Expo.
Yeah.
Talking probably more art, more costumes, more design of our favorite Star Wars shows.
Yeah. I need to hear. I have not spoken to Ashley yet. We usually make it a point to try to first connect on air and then talk after. And I've not had a chance to ask how her convention went. And I feel like a jerk. But like I've not had a moment.
Well, she's kind of fried, so I think she appreciated a bit to catch her breath.
She worked harder than all of us combined, I think. So I want to hear all about that.
Me too.
We'll do that on next week's Clone Wars, as well as talk more on Daughters.
I love this last line of David's, because Jeremy, he said, fighting his comic con come down and went straight to Patu.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
That's some therapy right there. Well, look, I'll be on a beach again in 2 days. I go to Fire Island on Wednesday, and I decided to take Friday also, so I'm there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, bitches.
Nice.
I can't wait. So I'm just gonna be laying on the beach.
Have fun.
Good time. All right, Sarah, JB, anything you want to leave us with?
Thank you.
Babe? Yep.
It's absolutely fantastic arc. Loved hearing the stories about the cons, and just cannot wait for the more programming and more great Star Wars to come.
Excellent.
All right, terrific. Thank you guys again. Really appreciate you popping in and sharing this with us. This is a lot of fun. All right, thank you everyone who joined us in the chat. We love having you. We will see you next week. Tune into all the other programming happening on the network this week. We've got a new Nerf Herders. We've got the Thursday night watch along. I don't know what they're covering. They're doing something. They'll be back. New live programming this week, and then we have not Unifying Force. We have Jedi Archives this Sunday. So
on Sunday.
We will see you all over, and be on the lookout all over our socials. AJ is starting. He's flying home today. You're going to see a lot of stuff coming on all things Rebel Scum Con. So if you missed it, we will make it as accessible to you guys as possible.
Fabulous.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
We want to share the experience with all of you. So everyone have a great night, a great week ahead, and as always, long live the Republic.
Long live the Republic.
Hello there. Hi, I'm Mark Von Olin, the Director of Programming at the Virtual Cantina Network, and I'm here with James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yes, I know that one well. I have the high ground if I do. Wait, yes. Thank you. Now I have the high ground. And you are watching Clone Wars Revisited. This is the show you're looking for.